Hi everyone, it's Derek from the iReady podcast here, and this is my reaction to the 1-0 victory against Livingston in the Premiership tonight. A massive 3 points for us tonight, a massive 3 points. Not only because Livingston have given both halves the Old Firm a torrid time over the last few seasons, but because mainly for most of the game we didn't look as if we were going to get that goal and get the victory we really needed. We came through it, we got the 3 points, delighted with that. I'm trying to be diplomatic about the performance because there were mitigating circumstances where obviously the conditions were horrendous. It was blowing a gale, it was driving rain. It was the same for both teams, granted. However, if you look at the stats in the game, 70% possession for us, 18 shots in total, only 6 on target though, and that is the big kicker for me with this one here. We had 10 corners as well, so certainly it was all us, all the game. Livingston only had 2 shots on target, 6 in total, and obviously 30% possession. So it was all us, and Livingston had just about every attack. They had 9 or 10 of their players in their box, so it was very, very difficult for us to break down. The problem we've got is we needed more pace in the team going forward, and we weren't doing that, so that's what made it look as if it was a lacklustre performance, which to an extent I absolutely agree it was, but I think the way Livingston were playing, granted that's their prerogative, the way the conditions were, and you counter that with the amount of possession, the amount of shots we had, I don't think it was as bad a performance as what a lot of people are going to take from it. We needed to be a lot more clinical, and that was the big thing. However, we made 7 changes from the Stirling Albion game. We also had a number of players missing tonight as well. Morelos, Aribo, Kent, Hadji, Helander, Davis, all missing. So there's 6, normal first team players you would have said that were missing. However, we lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Bassey, Barisic, Kamara, Sands, Lowry, Wright, Sakala and Itten. On the subs bench were McLaughlin, Simpson, King, Lundstrom, McCann, Barker, Roof, Arfield and Jack. So in the first half, it was really a frustrating first half. We had the bulk of the play, a number of chances, but it just needed someone to stick a leg out gently and be more alert. There was a bit of disconnect at times between, I would say, mid to front as well as the front to front as well. We were getting a lot of chances, putting a good cross across the goal, and the other 2 attackers were nowhere to be seen. They were just not alert at all. Lowry, however, was the absolute standout in the first half, involved in most of the chances we had. He looks really comfortable and confident as well for only his second start. That was fantastic. Livingston had been quick on the break and we had to be tight at the back, which everything was really mopped up by the time it really got to our box, which was good to see. Most of our chances came from the wings with some good play to get the ball to the box. Decent enough crosses in, but the attackers, as I said, were either missing or they completely fluffed their lines. Our best chance in the first half came on the 25th minute with Lowry in the middle near the box, to Wright on the right, who takes it into the box and has a shot which was cleared off the line by the defender, so quite unlucky that. Livingston had a claim for a handball in our box on the 35th minute. It was a corner in from Livingston from the right, bounced to their player at the back post who heads it, and Lowry clears it off the line. The angles of the replays have not been great, to be honest, and certainly you could argue that it maybe flicked off his arm, but it looked more like his chest and then his shoulder, and then cleared. Certainly nothing was given anyway, so we'll take that one. 39th minute, there was some great movement of the ball, ends in it into Tavernier on the overlap. On the right, he plays a first time ball across the goal, flicked towards the net by Sakala, but it was a good save and out for the corner, so unlucky that again. Another good chance just before the half-time whistle on the 46th minute, a great break with Lowry to Sakala down the left. Sakala drives it forward, gets into the box, holds the ball up for support, a good cross in and finds Wright, but he's wrong-footed and the ball gets held up rather than shot, and it was eventually clear. So great cross, great skill, but just really poor from Wright there. So certainly what we're looking for in the second half, we needed to go through the middle more, and the attackers needed to up their game big style, and the midfield needed to link up with the attack better as well. However, in the second half, a much better second half. We made heavy weather of it still though, because we're largely doing the same thing. Get to the wing, cross, clear, get to the wing, cross, clear. Again, Livingston were doing their job fine. They were putting 9 and 10 men in the box sometimes, and when they needed to break quickly, they broke quickly, and when they needed to get back quickly, they got back quickly as well. So certainly a high level of fitness from Livingston there. All in all though, we really struggled to find an opening, and it taken an absolute moment of magic for us to find the net, which we'll obviously get to. So right after half-time in the 46th minute, it was a good move with Sakala getting into the box, looking for the perfect angle. He ends up passing to right in the box, and then it was smuggled away by the defence. Sakala, just shoot the ball. That's ultimately what we're looking for. Just shoot. You don't need to find the perfect angle every time, and that was one of the big problems with tonight, and we've seen it time and time again as well. Made a sub in the 59th minute, Sands in it and off, and Arfield and Roof came on. Obviously, one of these subs were very inspired as well. 67th minute was a long ball floated up to Sakala, had to hold it up as he was in the box on his own. The players arrived but didn't find space for themselves. Sakala takes on players, he gets the ball across and it flashes right across the goal. It was inches away from the goal line as well. Once again though, nobody picking it up. Again, there was some outstanding play by Sakala on the 71st minute, who chased it down, spun, made a driving run towards the box on the left and had a blistering shot put over the bar by a great fingertip save by the keeper, so really unlucky that there. However, you could see we were on the ascendancy at that point. We had upped the pace, Livingston maybe starting to tire, and we ended up scoring a goal on the 75th minute with Arfield on an absolute stunner. Barisic on the left passes to Sakala. Barisic makes the run, demands the ball be played back to him in the space which he points to, which was duly done. He plays a lovely cross into the centre of the box, which finds Arfield, who uses the outside of his right foot to flick it over the defence and into the far side of the net. Just absolute sublime goal there from Arfield. Only second goal this season as well, which, you know, is mental when you think about that, but an outstanding goal, great tenacity and great link-up play there with Sakala and Barisic in the first place there. Made a sub right at the goal there, 76th minute, right off and Jack on. And the last piece of play I've got here was on the 86th minute. The ball was floated into our box from the left by Livingston, bounced right in front of McGregor. He had to be alert to collect it because the attacker was lurking there. My feed was a bit scrambly after that, but I think that's how the game played out. So, as I said, delighted with the points there. Really, every game, as we always know, is a must-win. Obviously, we made heavy weather of it. I think we've got to appreciate the circumstances as well, so I'm not going to be too down on the players there. But we need to start playing with more pace right from the off, and we need to start making shots. Just shoot the ball. We've seen a few goals this season already where we've just had a shot at even the slightest glimpse of an opening, and it ended up deflecting off, you know, defenders and going into the back of the net. I think in one game it happened twice, you know, in the same game. We went 2-0 up, so it can happen. We just need to start shooting, and we need to be a wee bit more pacey as well and play with a wee bit more guile and a wee bit more impetus, and we'll come good. So the next game we play against Ross County. That's on Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss the game because I've got a prior engagement, so Dave will be watching the game, I hope anyway. There won't be a post-match podcast that night, unfortunately, but Dave and I will be recording our main episode tomorrow night, so we'll go over tonight's game in depth, and we'll also go over the last two games against Aberdeen and Stirling Albion as well. So as ever, you can go to our website or you can go to all the usual podcast outlets. So thanks for listening and goodbye.